All right, this is my 2019 Yamaha TTR230 dirt bike, and I'm going to be doing an air filter service and changing the spark plug, so stick around to go through that process. And this is on the right side of the bike where the brake is, right above the oil fill. Our spark plug is right here. So all you really need is a new spark plug. The one we're using, we got this from the Yamaha dealer. This is the one they recommended, the DR8EA NGK. So that's what we have on there currently. That's what we're going to replace it with. And this I do every so often just to make sure I have a fresh spark plug on there. But all I need to do is just take off our spark plug boot right there, expose the spark plug. And then you need a deep 18 to get this off. This is kind of an odd spark plug size. I actually didn't have a spark plug specific socket this size, but it's just an 18 millimeter deep socket to get that off. It doesn't feel like it's super tight on there, really. It's just kind of hand tight, it feels like. Take a look at it there. You know, there's some soot on there, that's normal. Okay, so the new one, usually out of the box, it's usually, the gap is close, but we're gonna use our gap filler gauge. Now the spec is 0.026. My gauge here, the lowest is 0.025, so it's the smallest wire on here. So if I just run my gauge through here, pretty close. Actually, it looks really good right there. So it looks like I'm not going to have to adjust the gap. So the gap looks good. Before I thread it on, I'm going to put some of this. This is a high temp anti-seize thread lubricant that's for spark plugs. I'm just going to put a tiny bit of this on there just so that it doesn't corrode, it doesn't seize onto it. So just a little bit on the threads. Okay, torque spec is right around 20 foot-pounds on the spark plug, so make sure you don't over-tighten that. And then we just put our boot back on. Make sure it's fully seated down. We're good to go. Now we're gonna do the air filter. Okay, now on the other side of the bike, this is where the fuel the fuel shutoff is, the choke, the shifter lever. On this side, there's a black panel. We remove that with just Phillips head screws.
Just 4.
Okay, we just pull out. Okay, the whole air filter assembly basically pulls out like this. And there's just a wing nut here. We just take off the wing nut and the washer. Okay, if you see inside of the filter, there's a little cage. You can take that out. Now we can wash this out. I'm going to use some filter cleaner as well as with some like dish soap just to get the grease out. We'll soak it in some water, let it dry, re-oil it, put it back in. Okay, so I just sprayed some dish soap on this, ran it under water, let it soak for a minute, wringed it out so it's all rinsed out. Now it's still wet. I want to get this to thoroughly dry. I'm going to set this out in the sun for, I don't know, probably a couple hours. As soon as it's dried, we can get it put back together, re-oiled. Okay, so I'm ready for the oil now that's all dry, and I just dab this oil in here like this. I just dab this filter oil all around here, and then once I've got it on there, I'm just going to work it in, just massage it into the filter, get it ready to go. I usually do the filter about every 10 hours. If it's been in really dusty conditions, I'll check it after each ride, but luckily this is really accessible. It's really easy to get to, and the filter's easy to maintain, easy to service. Okay, that's good to go. Okay, so assembling this crease here in the filter points to the back of the bike, and then the slope part is on the opposite side of that crease. So if I put this back in like so, just want to make sure I put that back in. It's lined up there. And then this lines up like that. This is the tab that you pull it out from. And now I'm just going to wash her back on our wing nut. Okay, now we just put our cover back on. Okay, that is how you service the air filter. Okay, guys, well, thanks for watching the video. Hopefully that was helpful or entertaining for you. If you have questions, comments, or suggestions, leave them down in the comments below. See the links in the description if you need product links for the things used in the video. And then hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks a lot.